So like I would learn to like throw my tail to the underside to get an extra rep, or throw it to the upper side to get an extra rep, to like grab more time.
Good to go.
Good?
Yeah.
Cool. So my name is DeLouis. I've been using FiberFlies for about 3 years. First things I really started with was more just like lacing around my stomach. And then I learned how to like go around my legs and such. And after that, I really wanted to figure out like where I could get more complex in my like shoulders and elbows, and like what more could I do. And that's when I found out this wrap here. This, I kind of nicknamed it down under combo. But being able to hook using my elbow inwards and then wrapping around my wrist here and then coming around, which is a really nice combo to like go into anything else after that. Because there's another variation of it called up over, where I just come over the elbow. So that just comes to here. And then the down under variation of it is here. So 2 very similar combos in the chest, but that end up going to different places and that look different afterwards. But after messing with that for a while, I got into more swinging the handle around. And it started off with just like things, just 2-beat weaves, a lot of poise stuff. And then eventually, through him suggesting it, he's like, what if you just let go of the whip and catch it again? I was like, all right, I'll try it. And that's where I got into these slingshots. And then for the longest of time, that one slingshot was the only slingshot I could really do. And then once I got more comfortable with it, I started doing things like double slingshots where it goes around both arms. Or I got into things like an extra spin put into there, just because I catch it with my pinky up, so I can continue the rotation here right after I catch it. And I figured out that like the different ways that I catch it would affect the different combos that I could do afterwards. And then a little time after that, figured out, I can do similar stuff around my legs, around my shoulders. So like turns where like my elbows to get those rotations in, which I found comboed really well in with my slingshot stuff when I combined it all. So I was able to like get into complex turns and combos with the slingshots once I got that kind of figured out. And I also figured out, leg turns. Once I figured out some leg turns, I was able to, get a little bit more open with my body on things. And after that, I kind of figured out that I could do these slingshots facing downwards. So instead of having them spin in a vertical plane, I tried having them be more horizontal. So that started off with just the regular, extra spin combo, but facing downwards. And then I eventually figured out that I could do like little extra combos off the tail side. So I could like focus on my tail more. And then that kind of led into, once I got comfortable with it, being able to fully manipulate my tail around in what I call this drop whip style, or drop whip stalls, because a lot of times I try to keep the handle in the same place, even though I'm moving the tail around or doing whatever other combos. Basketball kind of weaving and stuff like that, or coming around my body the other way, or coming up over my shoulder. I figured out some, more transition work and more combos I can do out of it. My buddy asked me to just throw my whip, and like I didn't quite know what he meant, and like I thought he was talking about like, the slingshot stuff that I was doing before, and I guess I misinterpreted him. He's like, no, throw it. I'm like, what? So like me being sarcastic, I was just like, all right, there, I threw it, It was just like, all right, cool. He's like, yeah, no, but higher. I'm like, one day just kind of got more comfortable with it and started working in these, high tosses and stuff like that into flow. Once I got more comfortable with the drop whip stuff, got into elevators, which are these things where I lift the whip up towards myself and I can swing it either like over my shoulder, or if I do it in the right combo, can actually use those to start the rotation of the whip out of that tangle. So like I would do an elevator and then I would start this spin outside of it.
Nice.
So that was basically the progression of just trying new things and what led to what.
Right on, yeah.
It's just one of the hardest tricks to like get clean. There we go.